Well, welcome to Tuesday Chat with Mel. This is one of my favorite Tuesday chats for the year because I get to have all of the campus leaders on highlighting our year so far, 2025-26 school year. And you said so, and I said so far, that is correct because there's so much more in store. But more importantly, today's a really great opportunity for us to start looking ahead and you get a sneak peek, right? A little sneak peek at what's ahead for 26, 27. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to one of our campus leaders. We have both of them on. Monica Vigna and Felicia Myers are both on, as well as our assistant principal, David Rowe, and Barbie Caceres. So, Miss Myers, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Miss Nelson. And our favorite pillar, I think, amongst all of the leaders is reflection. And I think that this opportunity is always such fantastic experience for not only myself, but the entire faculty and staff to just reflect on this year, our growth and our progress. And Miss Nelson also gave me a time limit, and I was like, but I don't know. There's so much to talk about in terms of growth and progress, so bear with me. And I also really believe strongly in accountability and metrics. I believe that our success, so much of what we do is qualitative, when you're working with students and in education, but much of our success can also be quantified. And I think that's important because our parents, you are our stakeholders. So I believe you do need to get a little pulse check on our progress monitoring. So a lot of what I'll talk today, really was quantifiable in our successes. And I'm so proud of our entire team and our students and our school. So buckle up, here we go. We'll start with our academic achievements. This year, we launched the pre-AP curriculum across math, English, and science, which prepares all students for more advanced courseworks and helps standardize rigor across all subject areas and levels, not just in those honors and pre-AP courses and AP, but all levels of instruction. Over the last year, we increased the number of students participating in advanced placement courses by 20% and increased our AP exam passing rate by 11% with an astounding 89% overall pass rate. We also added AP Pre-Calculus and AP Comparison Government this year and allowed qualified eighth grade students to take AP World History. And also a friendly reminder that we offer the prestigious AP Capstone Diploma option for students, which now, as of this year, qualifies students immediately for the 100% Bright Future Scholarship, which is tremendous for all students and a great opportunity. Looking ahead for next year, we plan to offer 27 AP courses, adding AP Cybersecurity and AP Human Geography to the mix. And AP Human Geography is a great initial AP class to get students' feet wet if they've never taken an AP class before. So very excited about that. We've also implemented target instructional support plans per grade level, isolating areas of growth and strength, and we drilled down to each and every individual student in the entire school. We've already seen an average of 10.3% growth across all middle school math, as measured by the CTP milestone diagnostic from the beginning of the year to the middle of the year, as well as an average of 6.7% increase in proficiency in reading in all middle school students. The standouts this year, so shout out to the seventh grade for increasing by an incredible 19% in math this year, and the eighth grade increasing by 15% in reading. So gains across all of the middle school. So we're very proud about that. Not to be left behind, the high school has also been increasing their proficiency scores. And in math, the high school increased by 12.3% as measured by the IXL diagnostics and 8.8% in reading. The standout this year was the ninth grade for increasing proficiency by 19% in math. And for the 11th grade, that increased by 18% in both reading and math. So we're very proud of those students and those gains. And again, as parents, thank you for supporting them at home and also reiterating the importance because these accountability measures are really helpful for us in targeting those areas of growth. And also where a student might be at grade level, how do we get those students above grade level? Because that's the goal. It's all individualized to their own personal success plan. Our students also continue to excel in local, state, and national competitions from aerospace engineering, who, as we speak, are participating in shuttle launch and landing simulations in Cape Canaveral, and they're freezing, by the way, up there, to year-long multi-level competitions in history, drones, robotics, the Startup at Spring business competition, in which this year's local winner have been chosen to compete at the national level, and they developed an app to assist caregivers of and people with dementia and Alzheimer's. So we're very proud of the work that they did and their company, Cognia Care. We're also sending students to present at national conferences in DC for the National Junior Honor Society, as well as just celebrating our award-winning poets, applied math champions, musicians, and artists. Looking ahead, we're still building on our incredible engineering program, and we're launching a brand new competitive middle school robotics IQ team, as well as expanding our current VEX drones and aerospace engineering programs. So there's time to double up in engineering before and after school. So very excited about that. Our after-school academic drop-in has been such an incredible success that next year we've decided to create tailored academic labs as an elective to assist students with executive functioning skills like time management, organization, study skills, and more. So that's going to be a very popular option for students as you begin building their schedules for next year. In addition, we listened and we know that our middle school has been requesting increased elective programming. So we're instituting half-year middle school elective classes so students can really take the time to discover their passions prior to high school coursework. So very exciting about that new addition. Moving over to the athletic realm, shout out to Coach Leonardo, who has taken over the helm of our athletic programming on both campuses. We're very proud of the work that he's done this year, as well as all of our coaches and staff. This year, the number of students participating in athletics at the upper campus has increased by 18%. We've also increased the number of varsity sports offering by 50% to include the much-loved varsity soccer team and the upcoming dance team, which is brand new, and our largest cheerleading team to date. So lots of excitement there. We also launched a new 3-year Adidas partnership, which includes $40,000 of promotional gear per year, totaling $120,000 in 3 years. So that's just a testament to the quality of our programming and our sports teams and the dedication of the coaches and staff and the brilliance of our student athletes. We also created a new athletic lounge, the Lion Lounge, for students athletes to review film in and meet with coaches. We also established a recovery and wellness center in our newly equipped weight room, all brand new equipment. And at the lower campus, the emphasis on health and well-being was also prioritized by a newly remodeled dome and indoor gym facility. It's absolutely gorgeous, as well as a fantastic and interactive new playground. If you haven't been there, it's spectacular. Looking ahead and in partnership with the Booster Club, we've already began building a new outdoor training facility at the upper campus that can be utilized by all middle school and high school athletic programs, as well as what a big hit will be, all of our students taking physical education on campus as an elective. So that's already started. It should be finished soon. So thank you to our Booster Club for all your support. And in June, the gym floor will be redone and a brand new state-of-the-art digital scoreboards will be installed to support all programming, including athletic games, school ceremonies, robotic and drones competition as it's compatible with VEX. And these boards come with a curriculum that will be implemented as part of our sports management programming, which we're very excited about. So they'll be all student run. Some other celebrations for the upper campus. Our students are just some of the best and the brightest, but at the end of the day, let's face it, they're still teenagers. And so in tracking some disciplinary consequences over the last 2 years, I'm very pleased to say that there's been a decrease of 84% in disciplinary actions on campus, which is tremendous. We instituted a 3-year teacher and administration behavioral matrix and training program, and we created a position for a dean of student conduct and integrity filled by our very own Mr. Brown. Everyone loves Mr. Brown and his pearls of wisdom. And we have an expert counseling team on campus. In addition, and in conjunction with those initiatives, our advisory program, which are weekly adaptive lessons, has been extremely targeted to help students discover their why and their purpose. From school-wide vision boarding and goal setting that actually starts at the lower campus from preschool all the way to seniors, students learn to be reflective and in the driver's seats of becoming the best version of themselves. So just very proud of all the work that's been done and that we are continuing that work with all of our students. You, our parents, and our stakeholders, you've also indicated that you're happy with what we're doing on campus, and I'm pleased to say that after the parent survey went out in the fall, our overall parent satisfaction rate was an incredible 87.2%, which is a growth of 2.7% from fall survey reports last year. So thank you for all those that positive feedback. In addition, we celebrated our highest retention ever within our 2-week priority window with an 87.4% retention rate, indicating a growth of 6.4% from last year. And that number keeps increasing every day as our families continue to re-enroll. So I just think that's a testament to the strong programming we have on campus and the expertise of our teachers and staff. This year, in fun news, we also hosted our first ever off-campus middle school dance with much fanfare, but no slow dances, at a country club. And that was a hit. It was probably one of my favorite nights of the year. So thank you to the PTO. They really helped us with a lot of decor and decorating. And that's definitely one that will be coming back for next year, bigger than ever before. We also finalized our science lab renovations this year. So now all 4 science labs are fully outfitted in the best of collaborative lab tables. And the lower campus also now have great epoxy resin-based lab tables as well. So very proud of the investment we've been putting into our science programming over the years. And of course, a fan favorite was the incredible renovation of our student bathrooms, with more to come for next year. And in good news, in addition to the decrease in disciplinary actions, you'd think they'd want to hang out in there more than they do, but they're not. They're good. They're coming to class on time. So they love those bathrooms, but at least they're not lingering. And lastly, we really want to increase our offerings for those real world applications of executive internships. So you'll be seeing a lot as you meet with Ms. Dunkley and schedule courses for next year, an increase in executive internship options from sports management programming to a partnership with our HOSA, which is our pre-medical society, giving some clinical outreach and practice to all of our other beloved executive internships that we can offer. Next up, one of the highlights of the year has to be the London School of Economics Entrepreneurship and Innovation Summit. I get chills just talking about that 2-day experience. It's an exclusive global partnership with the London School of Economics and their Generate program. So we flew about 10 experts from the London School of Economics from London in. The kids really love the accent, but it was great. They did really hands-on and interactive seminars from viral marketing patterns to careerpreneurship, design thinking challenges. Then a select cohort of students participated in the pitch challenge, where they all created their own pitches and presented in front of the entire high school and in front of founders who gave them feedback on the spots. They really asked some tough questions, so it was great experience. I was so proud of their analytical and their critical thinking skills. They were also articulate and thoughtful during this. And actually, what the best part of this is, entrepreneurship at Sagemont Prep really isn't just about business or economics. It's a mindset. We're really preparing students to excel in that unknown future where it's unpredictable and they need to be able to adapt and be able to sell themselves and work collaboratively with people with different opinions in different professions. All of the students participated in founder challenges, where we brought in founders that were top execs in their field, and they actually asked students for their feedback on problems they're facing in their own companies. And that was one of the highlights too that students said at the end of the 2-day summit, was those times working with the founders of real world, real time business problems and their ideas and their solutions. So we will definitely be continuing this partnership. That next phase is actually working with students to build a program where they will be going to the London School of Economics as part of some coursework and time in London, as well as in the future, London School of Economics partners with companies all over the world. So they're already talking to us about doing some wellness initiatives in Japan in the next 2 years, working with adaptive technology and gene research. So very excited about that possibility and this new global partnership with the London School of Economics. And of course, I know everyone on this call is now familiar with Harkness discussions. This is really at the heart of soul of what we do here in that kind of innovative way of teaching that's not just teacher directed and teacher led. It is an emphasis on, being able to articulate your own opinion and think on the spot. And my favorite part of the Harkness discussion is active listening skills, because you can prepare, you can do that research, but if you are not engaged in that conversation and listening to what your peer says about a topic, you're not going to be doing as well because you have to respond on the spot. And that's what we always say. That's where business is done today. It's around a conference table. It's collaborative. It's on Zoom calls. You have to be able to have open dialogue, expressing your opinions with a real sound basis of information and having that research behind you. It also really combats, the ease of which you can ask ChatGPT to just formulate all your ideas and write papers for you. So it's a great way in kind of putting the computer and the device aside. As much as we love technology, it's a tool. It's not the replacement. So this is a great way for teachers to assess all the way from preschool on the carpet to around a Harkness table at the high school level. So we're very proud of the work that we've done. It was a 100-day challenge that we had Harkness discussions in every single class in every single subject, from 3-year-olds to drum classes to math classes, and to, of course, where you'd think that they would just naturally fit into social studies. But there's so much more, and it's really that innovative style that we love and hold dear, and it's reflective of all of our educational pillars at Sagemont Prep. So without further ado, I'm going to pass off to Miss Vigna to talk about a little leadership and mentorship opportunities.
Thank you so much, Miss Myers. And as Miss Myers stated, we were given a time limit, so I will try to brag in the time that I was given. Thank you once again, Miss Myers. So moving on to the leadership and mentorship. Many of the things that I will highlight now will mirror a lot of the things that Miss Myers shared, but of course, like we say, at the little kids level. And so our leadership and mentorship opportunities, those are really opportunities that foster those relationships, meaningful relationships, building empathy. It really benefits both campuses, both groups. So our older ones are, like they say, our big kids. Our big kids, they're naturally stepping into these leadership roles, and our younger ones are seeing them as positive role models who are inspiring them to ask questions, to become curious, to get engaged. It's that sense of belonging. So a lot of those opportunities include our roaring readers and leaders, where our older kids internally read to our little ones, or extended to our sister schools. So now our National Elementary Society will be going back to Chesterbrook, believe it or not, to read to 2-year-olds, to the younger ones. So again, extending beyond our school. We also have, of course, I have to mention them, our Bee Buddies. They do look up to the Bee Buddies, and hopefully we'll be doing their pep rally very soon. But again, it goes beyond the basketball. It's that leadership moment. It's those mentorship moments that they have with them in their classrooms. We also have aligned it to our signature projects, really those experiences that bring it real life to our students. So bringing in, we're proud to say, our scuba club from the upper campus, led by students, led by our upper campus students with our first graders, asking questions, of course, showing their props, like they call them, or their devices. But our scuba club, our fishing club, they came up from the upper campus to present to our third graders, again, aligned to our signature projects, bringing it to life, bringing it to what they're learning in class. Just last night, we had our National Elementary Honor Society go to the City Hall of Weston for their monthly meeting, leading the pledge. So again, serving the community, demonstrating that civic responsibility, taking the lead. As we continue, we also want students to become involved, and that's across both campuses. I personally love that my child is involved until the end of the day after school. So these are opportunities that I have to say, Miss Natalia, working hand in hand with Mr. Leonardo. And you'll hear Mr. Leonardo's name through some of these slides because his passion spreads to the athletics, spreads to the robotics, spreads to summer camp, which is coming soon, and spreads to the enrichments. So these are some of the enrichments, and Miss Natalia is always thinking beyond. What else can we offer to further develop the passion of the students to see what they like? And so these are some snapshots of the enrichments that were going on, but we're also very proud to say that she's also gone beyond in showcasing that evidence. So now we do have a band for each enrichment so that our parent community can see what they are doing, what they are learning. We know sometimes they get home and they said, oh, I didn't do anything, but we have that evidence on band that those are the conversations that we are to have with our children. These enrichments do support that social, emotional growth, that interaction after school, peer to peer, practicing teamwork, encouraging independence, really going beyond the traditional classrooms. In addition to the enrichments, we also have different clubs and of course our robotics. Our robotics, were proud to say in a nutshell just some of the numbers. In within 2 years, 35 competition awards, from excellence awards to teamwork champions, robot skills and designs. Again, Mr. Leonardo, his passion still stays here with that program, along with Coda Robot and Connect IQ, something that now we're taking it beyond the school year and we're having it year long, as well as in the summer. Team achievements in advancing to state and world championships, the collaboration, skills that they're learning how to work with each other, collaborating with other team members from around the world. So something that we are proud to say that our students are not only excited, but they're taking that risks, going back to our pillars. Next slide, please. Thank you. As far as our international festival, very, very proud, and something that we're all, I believe, still bragging about and talking about. This is actually the first time that we have it in one campus. We've had international festivals before, but what meaning it had this year when we hosted it on one campus, came together. So students, families, staff from both campuses. It was interesting to see parent from here, parent over there say, oh, I know that you're from here and I'm so excited to meet you and collaborate with you, to really to showcase and celebrate the many cultures that we have here at our school and that make our school so special. I do have to mention that we are proud to be the #1 most diverse private school in the state of Florida, with more than 60 nationalities being represented. All the students spent the afternoon exploring, tasting food, really from around the world, learning the facts, the traditions, dancing, playing cultural, depending on the booth, games, asking questions, having conversations, while of course they were completing their passports. We also had another opportunity, leadership opportunity there, where we saw our upper campus students walking with our little ones to booth and enjoying it, playing games. It was truly a joyful, hands-on experience that really showed us as one school. It's a beautiful celebration of the diversity that we have, and proud to say that we all came together to make this happen. We do thank our parents for volunteering, our teachers, our staff, some of them for hosting booths. So we did come together as one school community. As we continue, some of the looking ahead, and I'm trying to stay within my time, academically, we're focused on expanded learning and mentorship opportunities, of course, across all departments, ensuring that community, that growth for every student. As we are talking about growth, and I know Ms. Myers did share growth as well, I'm going to invite the assistant principal, Barbie, to just share some growth on our end in terms of IXL and writing.
Thank you, Mrs. Vigna. Hi, everyone. So I speak very fast, so hopefully I will stay under the time limit I was allotted. So welcome, everyone. So my goal today is to give you a snapshot of our growth in writing and also within IXL. So first, I want to talk about our additions to our writing program. So our idea for our next year is going to be to strengthen our writing focus alongside what we're already doing, which is writable, and also using the HMH text doing writing tasks within our writing classes. So our goal is to also start or bring back, obviously, something called Sagemont Prep Write, something that we used to do a long time ago, but now this time with a different type of focus. So be on the lookout for some more information about that later on. So DBQ, some of you know exactly what it is. Some of you experience it if you have older children. I know that there is a program for 3rd through 5th graders. I know because long time ago when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, I used it as well, but they have revamped their program so much so to use a digital aspect and also a writing component that we are bringing back to Sagemont Prep. So DBQ will strengthen already in place HMH writing strategies such as annotating, graphic organizers, and citing evidence. Students will begin to notice and develop AP style thinking early on by analyzing multiple sources, making claims, and supporting ideas with evidence. And I say this because I do have an 11th grader, and I made that connection when I started to look at her AP writing and I started to look at how they plan, and I was like, wait a second, that's very DBQ-like. So, lots of conversations with the appropriate people, and this is another reason why we're bringing that back. So you're asking, well, what would that look like in 3rd through 5th grade? So students will eventually work with 2 to 4 grade appropriate documents, and they're going to have a mix of text and visuals, documents, maps, charts, and eventually, after a certain amount of instruction, grade 3, let's say, will be expected to write single paragraph responses, but they have to use text evidence, right? Grade 4 will be asked to do multiple paragraphs with added details and explanation, and of course with text-based evidence. So they will be citing. Grade 5 will have that full-blown 5-paragraph essay, which is expected in an AP level and even in middle and high school writing courses with clear reasoning and evidence. So it's very scaffolded. There's a lot of hand holding, of course, in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, but in a good way, in the sense that it's more reflective. Not that we're going to tell you what to write, but we will show you, or the teachers will show you exactly what to write. So DBQ is set to promote deeper understanding of content across all subjects, not just social studies. So my next update will be with current data, and it's connected to IXL. IXL, as you know, is a kindergarten through 12th grade program, but at this, we started in pre-K actually. So everyone at the school from pre-K to the 12th grade has been utilizing IXL. I have some fun facts to share with you guys, so I don't want to mess up. So I'm going to clearly read from the paper so I don't mess up on the numbers. So in ELA, which is English and Language Arts, what we do here at the school, one of the things is a benchmark assessment. We do it at the beginning of the year, the middle of the year, and the end of the year. At the beginning of the year, when we took our benchmarks, or the students took their benchmarks, they were the at or above level was 66% of the student body. We just finished the middle of the year benchmark, and we increased up to 83% in ELA, and we are not done with the year. So I'm very proud for all my teachers and students and parents, because it does take a village. In math, a little bit, it went from 75 to 81%. So I'm really proud of all of the work that everyone has accomplished. Now you're probably wondering, well, how did they do that? A lot of reasons, and this is the why, and this is something that you need to pat yourself on the back, teachers, students, and parents. Intentional teacher-assigned IXL lessons are one of the ways that this happened. Personalized student action plans, where students actually work on their strengths and weaknesses to get up to make their score, their skill score go up. Personalized and teacher created group jams by skill. That is a very big thing. If you don't know what that is, ask your students, what is a group jam? That is when a teacher intentionally picks a skill, forces everybody to start to do a couple questions, let's say 5 or 6, and immediately she can see what each and every student is doing in live time. And then when the group jam is over, she can bring them into a small group and start immediately personalizing the deficits or the other way around. So that's a really big deal. And that has been happening since iExcel started. I talked about benchmarking throughout the year, but diagnostics are very important in the beginning, middle, and end. But not just that. Your students every single week on either Monday or Friday, they go into the arena and they update their diagnostic. So their diagnostic is always up to date. They're never going to be working off of stale data or a stale report that they did back in, I don't know, the summer, let's say. So that's very important. Weekly diagnostic updates are the one thing that's going to get our students to make that move, right? And get them not just at level. We don't want them just at level. We want them above level. Consistent use at school and home is also very, very important. Leaderboards. I know you've heard of, there's a lot of talk about leaderboards. There's talk about teacher leaderboards and there's talk about admin leaderboards. So they're for different purposes. So what we do as a school, we go in and look at the reports and we see where is it that we got to push our kids, right? So we create our leaderboards with specific parameters. So maybe they need just more time spent. So we will create a leaderboard just for that will challenge our students as a class or as an individual to just do more in that area. Another way is the admin leaderboard. The first time I even knew that existed was when it was my birthday in December. And I just said, well, what's this button? I created this admin leaderboard for my birthday and forced everybody to go, well, they'll cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs with iExcel. And it really just increased their usage. And I was like, oh, that's easy. I can just give them an incentive and they'll just do more. Currently, the admin leaderboard is 2 skills a week proficient. That is the all be all for iExcel anyways. We want students to be proficient in iExcel ELA, 2 skills per week, and in math, 2 per week, with a SMART score, if you haven't heard that word already, of an 80. Some of our students always want to achieve that 100 score. It's great, but it's not necessary, and we don't want to stress them out already more than what they already are. So if you're ever looking for a SMART score that's appropriate when you want your child to stop doing iExcel, 80 is that number. So that is my update for writing and iExcel, and I will turn it right back over to Mrs. Vigna to give you some additional highlights of what's looking ahead.
Thank you, Ms. Caceres. And moving on, we will also be enhancing our signature projects. So again, going back to that real life experience, welcoming more business partners, realtors, bankers to support that learning and that process. We need you. If that is something that you would like to help, whether you're upper, lower, please do stay tuned for those volunteering opportunities. Lessons, for example, are like property taxes, appraisals, credit scores, rent, house value. Much more will be done and conducted along with the 5th grades project, which is similar or mirrors the Shark Tank. We've also partnered, and proud to say, speaking of community, we've partnered with the Broward Bonsai Society. They actually come in and work with our environmental club. They've learned about bonsais, and they come in and they have their bonsais and they will be showing off their bonsais at a festival. So proud to say that we have that community involvement. Ms. Caceres mentioned our writing program and in partnership with PTO. And we thank PTO for all the initiatives, for all the hard work and coming in and behind the scenes and decorating for our students. They plan to be remodeling and enhancing our outdoor space for 5th graders. We will have a name, just like we have a name for everything here at Sage One Prep, but a full redesigning with a lion vibe where they can socialize, hang out, like they would say, connect, relax, recharge, while again fostering that sense of community and pride among students. Next. Oh, I think connection. Okay. Next slide. Yeah.
All righty, guys. So we have a lot in store. And I know everyone mentioned timeless. I wish, and I tell you, it's my favorite time of year to go over everything that has been so incredible and amazing this year, but really also looking ahead to 26, 27. So are you ready? Ms. Sorokin, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All righty, let's see it.
All righty. Were you feeling that? I know I was. There's been a lot happening. You've heard about it, the house system. I'm going to turn it over to Monica to tell us what's been going on and what's ahead for the house system.
So at the heart, thank you, Ms. Nelson. And at the heart of it all, community and belonging is what makes Sagemont Prep's house system meaningful. We're excited, of course, to share an update on our houses. And like Ms. Nelson mentioned, there's been a lot of planning behind the scenes, a lot of hard work, collaboration to make our houses special and unique. We've had to even reach out to a designer who has carefully worked on each crest and continues to add those last minute details to really reflect Sagemont Prep School spirit. Parents, from staff, students have had an integral part of this process, and the process continues. And it continues involving the support of everyone to really bring these ideas to life. Everyone does play a role in this design and execution of this house system. Be on the lookout for more is coming, right? And you'll be able to see much more. But we're excited to say that such positive progress has been made, and we couldn't have done it without the help of each one of you, from parents to staff to the designer to Ms. Sorokin, a lot behind the scenes. So we do thank you, and that is coming soon.
Fantastic. Outside of the house system, guys, there's so much more incredible stuff happening. One of the things that we always say, you hear time and time again with our educational pillars. And if you know me, I always ask David Rowan, he knows this. What's my favorite educational pillar? What's your favorite child? You say there's never one, right? But reflection really is my favorite educational pillar. And simply because what we tell the kids all the time, we say, you are essentially, we're innovating for tomorrow. That's what we want them to do. And that's the same expectation for ourselves here at Sagemont Prep. So when we look at what we've done, yes, it is to highlight some incredible work. And as I mentioned before, so far for the year, because we still have a half a year still to go. But really always looking ahead and going, where can we go together and how can we continue to advance what we do with our students, with our teachers at Sagemont Prep? So you've heard from both campus leaders from our advanced program offerings 12 to 27 next year, which is incredible, amazing, right? And then looking at our lower campus and really adding in that DBQ, which mirrors that AP level thinking. It's truly incredible. You heard last year, if you were on from Ms. Myers, we took that down to that 8th grade level. We're taking that all the way to our elementary level. Really looking ahead as well too at just incredible expansions, signature projects. It's amazing and incredible what's happening. And for me, probably the most important piece of it is that we don't stop here. I love this wonderful team, and I love the fact that we continue to reflect, not just now, but also as we move throughout the school year to really imagine, evolve, and keep expanding what we do for your children, for our children every day. So thank you so much for joining us on this Tuesday chat with Mel. And thank you, campus leaders, for leading the way. Again, one of my favorite ones because I get to sit back and hear about the incredible work that's happening inside of all the classrooms. So again, thank you, and thank you, parents, for joining us.